In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the new filter function in Excel. Let's see how it works. In this example, we're going to be looking at our filter function. Here in column A, we have a list of our different office locations. In column B, we have a list of the departments for each of those office locations. In column C, we have how many employees are in each of those offices. So let's say we want to pull some of that data out for a particular city. In this case, we're going to be pulling data for the city of Miami. Now you might be thinking, can't we just put a filter on that raw data and filter out all of the offices besides Charlotte? And the answer is yes. However, that is altering the original data set, right? If you go over and look at it, you're no longer going to see the other offices. Let's say here we want to keep that data set intact, but pull out the Miami data. What we can do here is leverage Excel's new filter function. To get started with the filter function, we can go into our cell here, E11, and type equals filter. And here there are three different arguments. The first argument is the array. So this is where you highlight the entire data set that has the data that you want to pull. In this example, I'm just going to highlight our data from cells A2 all the way down to C80. Next, we specify the criteria that we want to tell Excel for what to pull. In this case here, we want every time the office says Miami for that data to be pulled out. What we can do here is highlight the column that has the criteria. So I'm going to highlight column A from A2 through A80. And then I'm going to type an equal sign and type Miami in quotation marks. Because remember, anytime that we have a string of text, we want to put those in quotes. And then the third argument here is if empty. And this one is optional as it is in brackets, so we don't need it for this example. But essentially what it'll do is it'll allow you to tell Excel that you want to handle any empty cells in the output. In this case, I'm just going to close our parentheses. Now when we click enter, as you can see, it takes the data from Miami and pulls it into our table here. Now I want to point out something. This is technically a data spill. And what that means is if I go ahead and click on any of these cells, notice up in the formula bar, it does not say for any example here on the number 20 for cell G13. It is still showing a grayed out version of our filter function, so if you ever want to use this data and now reference it somewhere else, maybe make a pivot table off of it, good best practice is to highlight all of the data and do Control-C on your keyboard to copy or right-click and click copy. And then a shortcut is Control plus Alt plus V to bring up the Paste Special menu. And here on your Paste Special menu, we can paste these as values by typing the letter V in your keyboard and click OK. Now when we click here into cell G13, you will see the number 20 in the formula as these different data points are now actually inside of our cells, and we can use them elsewhere.